We've been creating social media content to explain Hillsborough Law, proper name is the Public Office Accountability Bill, and you have been telling us exactly what you think of it. Now, it's time for us to take your views directly to MPs in real time while this law is being made. I've analysed the comments that you've left in our social media channels, and I've put your views straight into the parliamentary process as the bill moves through what's called committee stage. The committee stage, it's crucial. It's where a small group of MPs go through the bill meticulously, line by line, for days on end. They take evidence, they examine proposed amendments, and they vote on them. And what comes back out of the committee is a revamped bill that goes back into the House of Commons. So what did you say? And what have I told the committee in my evidence on your behalf? You were very clear about one thing in particular. MPs should be held to the same legal standards as every other public official. You told us that the current exemption of MPs from the criminal offence of misleading the public is unacceptable. You said it feeds the public's perception that MPs are above the law, even though in reality they're not. But when MPs make laws that exclude themselves from the rules that everyone else has to follow, the public see that as completely unacceptable. And yes, this may be uncomfortable for the committee to read because major cover-ups that have been burned into public memory, like Hillsborough, like the post office scandal, they weren't caused by MPs lying. But nevertheless, the public see MPs as accountable for the lies that happen under their watch, and the public expects that MPs will lead by example. And that's why the single biggest theme in your comments has been that Hillsborough Law must prevent MPs from misleading the public. If the offence is to have any credibility, it must apply to all politicians, not just to ministers. And I've made that point directly to the committee and urged them to amend the bill accordingly. The next major issue that you have raised is the general duty of candour. You asked how this duty would affect your day-to-day interactions with public authorities like the Care Quality Commission, family courts, privately run residential care homes, local authorities dealing with environmental issues, and even the scandal involving the grooming gangs. You've said that that's an instance where people feel that candour has been missing at every level. And across these examples, you have shared the same perception. Public authorities would rather let harm to vulnerable people continue than admit organisational errors. And that's what the general duty of candour needs to fix if it's to have credibility with the public. And it's exactly why I've proposed amendments to Section 9 of the bill. Right now, the requirements on public authorities to uphold candour and ethics are far too weak, too vague, too easy to ignore. So I've recommended that public authorities be required to take all reasonable steps to promote and maintain high ethical standards, and that their codes of ethical conduct must require their workers to act in line with the duty of candour, not just expect it, but require it. Not should, but must. You've also told us that culture change in everyday communication matters deeply, and that ordinary workers in public authorities like schools, hospitals, the fire brigade, and local authorities, those workers need to be involved in driving that culture change so that they can serve the public better. So I've proposed amendments requiring public authorities to involve trade unions in creating and maintaining their ethical codes, just as unions are already involved in health and safety matters. This will help to ensure that junior staff are not pushed around or silenced by senior officials, especially when a public authority may have an interest in hiding wrongdoing. And finally, you were really clear about whistleblowing. You told us again and again that people who speak up get hung out to dry, and the bill's current protections are nowhere near strong enough. So I've proposed an amendment requiring public authorities to provide enhanced protection for anyone, whether a worker or a member of the public, who makes a disclosure under the Code of Ethics. The amendment says they must be protected from bullying, harassment, or any form of detriment for blowing the whistle. So let's keep this conversation going. Let's see what happens at committee stage. Your comments on this channel are read, they do have impact, they are part of our research, and they're shaping the processes of making law right now. So keep sharing your views, and we'll keep taking them straight to Parliament and keep you constantly informed.